off the track. Oh, Tracy looking for 2 in a row is out of here in 15.2 seconds.
So Paul Tracy, as he climbs the hill in a battle for first place, and Jacques Villeneuve sweeps past. And Paul Tracy is now going to have his work cut out for him trying to catch up. But perhaps not so, because Jacques ought to be coming up into position number 1, but Paul Tracy ought to be able to come back around both of them based on his early drive. Nigel Mansell sitting right on the rear of Paul Tracy now, trying to do his best to get around Tracy. So Tracy, for the first time today, is being challenged.
And as Mansell settles down and warms up the tires after his stop, you can see that he's no longer as fast as Jacques Villeneuve, dropping away. But Paul Tracy has fresh tires on that Penske, a man who is now brimful of confidence, Paul Tracy, after his tremendous Formula One test with the Benetton team last week. That Benetton...
Little Al now makes a move on the inside of Mansell, can't get it done, as Al wants to get up into the front of the order too, and that stop is really benefiting Little Al.
Now you see the benefit of the gamble. They brought him in under yellow flag situation when everybody else is running slowly, and this is what you get for the gamble.
You get a glimpse there too of Eddie Cheever. They changed the battery in that car. One of the Eurosports cars sitting off the edge of the course, and that one looks to be Freon.
It is, yes, Frank Freon. Our
leaders come flying through this yellow zone. Nobody can pass at this point, but they can resume the battle immediately. Jan Vikas?
Whoa, man, we just almost had a crew member here. It looked like that was Kyle Moore. The fueler barely got out of the way as Jacques Villeneuve spun the wheels out of here. Oh, that was, I haven't seen anything that close for a long time. It was a quick stop. They didn't make any changes. Our temporary leader is back on course.
So a quick in and out after assuming the lead of the race, and that keeps the battle at the front of the field nice and tight. Al Unser Jr. continuing his pursuit of Nigel Mansell. Battle for second place as Paul Tracy now once again reassumes the lead. You saw him just cresting the top of the hill.
And the frustration for Eddie Cheever, who is just at the back of our picture here. He made a pit stop. He was 2 laps down now, running in 26th position, but he is as fast on the racetrack as Al Unser Jr., having had a battery replaced by A.J. Foyt's people. Now, will they be forced to go full course on the left-hand side? 2 yellow flags. Now, the leaders who hadn't stopped, like Bozell and Mansell, can stop under yellow. Here he is again.
And so as soon as the full course yellow comes out, Nigel Mansell takes advantage of it. And they can take their time, get all of the fuel. There's no real race happening here now. Mario Andretti, by the way, running in 8th place. So in his last race, he's right there in the top 10. Fittipaldi makes his stop and away.
Oh, something happened with Mansell there. He was very, very slow. He was in before Emerson and stopped. He was frustrated, threw his hands in the air. Listen to the engine, misfired. He's got his finger on the button to maintain the correct speed, and Vassar is in trouble.
Jimmy Vassar off the edge of the course. Is the engine started, or is he just waiting? No, he may not be under power. Mario Andretti, as he climbs the hill under the speed limit, and comes back in under the 3rd full course yellow of the day.
Using the driver aid that is allowed. You press a button on the steering wheel and it will only let you go just under the pit speed limit, and that keeps you safe. And I don't know how, maybe Johansson doesn't have one of those because he broke that pit speed limit earlier.
So now the field for the full course yellow lines up behind the Toyota pace car, and they continue to move around this track with the 3rd full course yellow. Back at the Toyota Grand Prix, Bank of America 300, Laguna Seca Raceway, just inland from Monterey, California. Beautiful area of the country. We're on our 3rd full course yellow of the day, and this the final race of the 1994 PPG Car World Series. This is what Jan Vikas was talking about. Watch the refueling, man, Jim Wilson. He just dances and tries to pirouette away from that spinning wheel. You know that can't have been any too pleasant.
I'm not sure if he actually missed that or not. I think Villeneuve might have just kissed him on the knee and the shin, but Jim Wilson, very, very experienced at his refueling job, might have dodged a bullet right there.
And maybe has a place in the world of bullfighting. Now this is the spin that brought out this full course yellow.
Frank Freon down the inside, punts the back of Jimmy Vassar's car. Vassar then spins out of picture. and Freon stalls the engine, and that was the reason for the full course yellow.
So a record number of yellow today. One thing that might be a matter of question, you say, well, why do they penalize somebody like Adrian Fernandez with a stop-and-go penalty for what was an altercation between Johansson and Fernandez's tire changer? Well, the rules of this sport, as with most motorsports, is quite simple. The driver is responsible for everything, including the conduct of his crew, so the penalty is naturally assessed to the driver. There's some indication that there's going to be some additional fines now assessed to Stefan Johansson for unsportsmanlike conduct. They haven't indicated the price of each of these fines, but they will be assessed against Stefan Johansson. Started out the day in the morning warm-up with a fire on the back of the car, and it's gone downhill since then. By the way, officially, too, in the timing and scoring, Paul Tracy never lost the lead of the race. He did, but he did after the start-finish line. And then Villeneuve took over, but peeled off to make this stop, and Tracy reassumed the lead at the starting line.
And watch Big Jim. Watch his left leg. Left leg. Oh! Maybe the toes. Maybe the toes just got trimmed, but he is fine and ready to go back to action.
Yeah, the report is that he is fine. By the way, the significance of Paul Tracy not losing the lead from an official point of view is that the pole winner has led flag to flag 3 times here at Laguna Seca. Danny Sullivan in 1990 and Michael Andretti both in 91 and 92.
I would venture to guess that Vassar probably got a punctured rear tire from that impact with Frank Freon. Never made it back to the pits. That was the result. The Conseco car off on. Never made it back to the pits. That was the result. The Conseco car off in the dirt.
You can watch from almost any place here at Laguna Seca and have one terrific view. We'll be back with more right after this. 39 laps complete. We are still under a full course yellow. The race distance almost 186, 185.98 miles here. 84 laps around this 2.214 mile 11 turn road course. While we're under yellow, let's go again to the pits. Here's Gary.
Interested observers in the Mario Andretti pit today. Men who've gone back many, many years with Mario. Piggy Malone, Glenn Waters. They worked in the F1 glory days when Mario won the world championship. Piggy, we'll make you the spokesman. What brings you back here on this occasion now, Mario's last race, and where have you come from to share this day with him?
Well, from England, and it's an emotional day. There's a continuity to the completion of all of this. Glenn and I were there in the Formula One days, from absolute obscurity in '76 to the World Championship in '78, and to see him now end his career in such grand style, it's just very emotional. It's a incredible day.
Well, we're pleased that we can share a moment with you, and I know Mario's greatly pleased to have you here in the pits rooting him on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Paul.
All right, Mario Andretti, you ride with him as they pick up the pace, hopefully heading back to a green.
And the championship year that Piggy mentions, of course, was when Mario drove the glorious Lotus 79, the first of the true ground effect Formula One cars that basically changed the face of the sport, and Zampedri's off the road.
As they were coming back to green flag, Zampedri lost it coming off of the final turn, leading onto the pit straight. Just lost it to the inside, didn't touch the wall. He'll be able to get back in the line as the rest of the field climbs the hill.
Dale Coyne's team may step up their program next year. The MyJack car was much in evidence this year. However, the budget was small. But they do want to step up that program for next year. But look at Paul Tracy stepping up the pace.
So going on the 40th lap as we approach the halfway point here. What with the staggered stops, Paul Tracy is the leader. Al Unser Jr. is second. And look at Villeneuve as he moves up, trying to catch Al Unser Jr. and get up into this field and get at the head once again.
And we are all on fresh tires now, boys, so the playing field is back even. Look at the smoke and dust behind. 2 cars abreast, Lyondike on the inside.
This is that spin at the restart. Zampedri just losing it to the inside, brings it all the way around. No contact with the wall. Another view to prove that. Zampedri's fine. The race continues on.
Tried to drop the clutch and get a run on Matt Schuster. 750 horsepower. Loops him, does a 360.
You can see some of the debris at the edge of the course as the rest of the field. Look at them following Fernandez down to the final turn on the course. A lot of debris. Look at this shot. a lot of that is scrape off the tire.
Oh, yeah, and that is one of the things that Brian Berthold, Ari Lyondike's engineer, we see Ari right ahead of Mario here. Berthold thought that it was pickup on the tires. Look at Lyondike. Oh, he almost hits Mario. Almost collects our champion.
Mario locks the rear, stays behind Lyondike. And the indication is that Mario's teammate has a problem right now. Nigel Mansell, let's go to Gary.
Well, he'll be staying on the course ball, but he came in for the routine service under the yellow. They could not get the wheel nut on the right rear side off, so they changed only 3 tires. He has got a really worn tire on the right rear. That's not going to help him in trying to handle this racetrack. So there's nothing they can do about it. He may just have to wear it totally out. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on it.
Nigel Mansell has dropped to 8th place behind Mauricio Gugelmin as they climb the hill.
Tire smoke at the top of the hill, so somebody else burned a patch off their Goodyear down through the corkscrew. You need all the assistance you can get, and if you have a tire that goes over its useful limit, then all you can do is struggle and hope they can replace it next time round.
Adrian Fernandez just behind Mansell now, looking to grab a position as the leader crosses the line at the halfway point. Paul Tracy still the leader of the race with 42 laps into the record book.
Mansell goes to Estoril to test the Williams on Tuesday. May run Wednesday morning if necessary, and then the eyes of the motorsports world again will be focused on him to see, is he as fast as Damon Hill? That may determine his future.
Back up toward the front of the field now, Esteo Fabi battling with Jacques Villeneuve in a fight for 3rd place. As we keep an eye on this, we'll go to the pits for an update on Eddie Cheever's day from Jan Bikas.
Well, Eddie Cheever is out of the car. The report was electrical problems, but tell us, how are the track conditions right now?
Yeah, it's really slippery out there. I mean, it's a very hot day, a lot harder than anybody expected, and the cars are slipping and sliding, but it's a lot of fun, and it was an interesting race. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think the driver that takes the care of his tires the most, not to hurt him, will be the one that probably wins today. I mean, it was very exciting the last few laps I was running. The cars were slipping and sliding all over the place, and the track is very greasy.
You're leaving today in a unique position, knowing exactly what you're doing next year. You got to be excited.
I'm very excited. I'm very happy driving for Foyt. And over this winter, with Copenhagen support, we're going to do a lot of work to make sure we continue where we stopped this year. It takes a lot of work and a lot of testing, but I got a sinking feeling that Foyt wants to get back up to the front where he was when he was driving, and I'll be glad to participate in that.
Well, we'll look forward to witnessing that ourselves. See you later.
Thank you.
Paul?
One of the exciting things about the final race of the season is that so many announcements now being made about where drivers are going next year. And then so much speculation, so many visitors here at this final race, Derek.
And one of those is Wilson Fittipaldi, Christian's dad, who was here obviously to negotiate or discuss his future. And believe it or not, John Barnard, the chief designer of Ferrari, was commissioned by President Luca de Montezemolo to come here to IndyCar and see what it's all about. Ferrari is interested.
He was back in the Penske trailers with Teddy Mayer this morning, having some fascinating conversations. 43 laps complete. Paul Tracy still in front.
Mario is such a complete racing driver. I suppose I didn't know quite how to address Mario early on. We were competitors. I was driving when he was